The Browns did place Dawand Jones, tackle, on injured reserve, and they signed a tackle with some NFL experience off of the New England Patriots practice squad, Thayer Munford Jr. Munford just turned 26 years old. He played collegiately at Ohio State, does have NFL experience, has started 18 games with the Raiders and played in a total of 46 games. Munford was a seventh-round pick of the Raiders back in 2022. Also played his high school ball here in the state at LaSalle in Cincinnati and at Massillon. Kevin Stefanski with the Browns on the thought process in putting Munford on the Browns' active roster.
Yeah, I think Andrew and the personnel crew do a great job of looking at a ton of different options. He was a guy that we thought would be a good fit for our group.
How much being with Vrabel, during training camp, everything, did that connection play any role?
I wouldn't say so. No, I think we have so much homework on these guys from their playing days, and obviously him being right down the road, studied him a good bit. He has a lot of experience playing in this league, so he's a guy that we feel like can add to this group and see how it shakes out.
Let's welcome in Jeff Lloyd, host of Browns 3D on the Orange and Brown Report. And Jeff, they need help at tackle. The thing is, Jack Conklin, it's an elbow. Even when he gets healthy, is it going to be full strength? I mean, think about that. You got to be able to anchor in and hold guys off. What do you expect to see Munford on the field soon?
Well, and that's going to be, to be determined. The thing, though, is it seems like what we see of Conklin, what we saw last week compared to what we saw this week, it seems like the brace is growing. It almost seems like it's a little bit bigger, what we saw from practice today than what he was wearing last week. The thing with Jack is, even though he's a two-time All-Pro, Jack is one guy that really suffers when he's dinged up. He's always been a guy that's kind of been really like a really good athletic offensive lineman. But when he's dinged up, he's just generally not this big, bulky, powerful offensive tackle. So when Jack Conklin is not 100%, you certainly don't get the best version of Jack Conklin. I think what their approach is right now is probably kind of similar to what they did in 2023. In 2023, they lost Jack Conklin in week 1. Dawand Jones, obviously his season ended early. Jed Wills was trying to stave off surgery. So the Browns were just trying to throw guys at the position and kind of see what stuck. It ended up being James Hudson at right tackle and Gerard Christian at left tackle that ended up playing the bulk of the second half of the Cleveland Browns. And actually, that turned out, as we all know, pretty successful. The thing with the acquisition today is he's been a really good run blocker in his time in the league. And, what we did see from the Browns on Sunday in the victory over Green Bay was that once they can kind of get the run game going, it doesn't necessarily let the defense get gassed out, maybe like it did a little bit in week 2 against Baltimore. So it kind of levels the playing field as far as time of possession. And, even still, it wasn't great. But then by the fourth quarter, the Browns had kept leaning on Green Bay, in which, resulted in the 11-yard run for Quinshon Judkins, followed up by the 36, 38-yard run that ultimately really got the Browns going in that game. They're just going to start throwing some bodies at it and, try to see what sticks. I don't think they're in a position right now, where they have any idea when Jack's really going to be able to contribute for them. So, look, it's a developmental period. It was going to be a developmental year essentially anyway. I mean, the Browns have all 5 offensive line positions basically under review as wholesale changes are becoming for 2026. So between the move made today, they brought in 2 guys last week. Both are offensive tackles who have NFL experience as well. It's going to be, who's the best of the mids, so to speak, that can find a way to some playing time.